sunshine, that's not the way it's going to be. Oh, but a little rain mixed with God's sunshine, a little pain makes me appreciate the good times.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, the dope ass dude, and I am so excited to be back with you guys on tonight. Y'all already know that. I'm always excited to be here on Monday nights and excited about the show on tonight. And yeah, it's going to be a great time. So you guys already know the preliminary things. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you don't mind going ahead subscribing to the YouTube channel. And while you're there, click on notifications so that you can be notified each and every time a new podcast is uploaded to the site. And then while you're there, go ahead and click on that like button so that this can be shared with others just like you. So click on that like button, click on the like button. So again, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you don't mind going ahead, subscribing to the YouTube channel. And while you're there, click on notifications so you can be notified each and every time a new podcast is uploaded to the site. And then click on like so it can be shared with others just like you. Now, if you're unable to catch the podcast on Mondays, you can always catch it on the go. It is on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Again, that's Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And then you guys already know we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. So again, that's Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. You can always catch us live on those platforms. And if you are not following me on Instagram and TikTok, if you don't mind following me on both of those platforms, I can be followed at the Dope Ass Dude Podcast on both Instagram and TikTok. You can follow me at the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. So I am really, really excited. And if you was here in the very beginning, you just heard Be Grateful. And that was my good friend Gay Arbuckle singing it for us tonight. So be grateful, because tonight's podcast is all about a grateful mindset, because Thanksgiving, and happy early Thanksgiving to everybody that is watching it right now. Happy early Thanksgiving. Hopefully you will be spending this time with your family and reflecting on all the things that you're thankful for. So, because I think that we are all blessed in our own rights, and probably blessed better than what we deserve. But, you know, God seems to always tend to show mercy on us. And I am just grateful to be here with you guys on tonight. And I see in the chat, we already got some people. Gay is already out there. Good evening, Gay. Pat is out there, and Perry Tyson, I got something for you tonight too. And Miss Tiff, wow, Gay, hey, see you again. Marion, thank you for being here tonight. And Keon Kane, my best friend, my you. So funny story about that. So, you know, Keon, he's Korean, and that's my best friend. He's a brother from another mother. And, you know, like, of course, we have the N word here. We have the N word. You guys know what it is, Nigga, you know, or Nigger. So Keon is Korean. And so sometimes he'll give me a call. When he'll give me a call, I try to mess with him or whatever. And I'll be like, what's up, my N? And I'll say the word, of course. And he always say, well, you know, I can't say that back to you. And I'll be like, dude, it's okay, whatever. I don't worry about it. But in Korea, there's a word like how we say you in Korea, you pronounce it nega. Nega, Negga, Negga. So when I mess with him now, it's funny. I'll be like, what's up, my N? And he'd be like, what's up, my you? He'd be like, what's up, my you? So y'all get it now. So you in Korea is nega. That's how they said Negga. So just a funny note there. But again, tonight, I am so honored and so happy to be here with you guys on tonight. And it's going to be a show that we're just going to be talking. It's just us family tonight. And I'm going to be asking you guys some questions because I want to know what you guys are. So my first question for you guys is, and I'm going to let you guys put this in the chat. Do you live a half empty or a half full glass life? And you guys know we've all heard that thing, half empty or half full. When you look at the glass, do you see half empty or do you see half full? And in regards to your life, do you live a half empty life? You know, do you see there's so much more that can be in there? Or do you live a half full? You see something in the glass and you can see where you can go. So put that in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Half empty or half full? Which one do you guys see with your life? And I'm going to wait for y'all to put that in there. Okay. Pat says she lives a half full life. Okay, I love it, Pat. What else we got? And y'all already know I'm on Facebook, making sure the post is posted on Facebook. So that's what I'm doing. And we are good on Facebook. So Pat said half full. Okay. Miss Tiff says life is half full and I live a full life. Oh, I love that. Life is half full and I live a full life. Okay. It's half full. And I think this is Darnell from Houston. I think that's Darnell. So, okay, half full. Okay. Tyson says he lives a half full. Okay, this is really good. All of y'all living half full. Okay. What's up, Ralph? Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Erica says it depends on the day sometimes for me. Okay. How you see it. I get that. Marion says half full. Okay. I love it. Okay. So I'm gonna let others get an opportunity to do something. I'm gonna do a little singing here tonight. So here we go. You got to sing that for me, Gay. You got to sing that for me.
Right now?
Right now.
Okay. We complain about our shoes when some people don't have no feet. We complain about no money, but still the Lord does feed. I think I'm hot. When I think about the things I want, not the things God knows I really need, there are miracles and blessings for me.
Keep on.
We need to trust God more and learn to love Him for. Oh, and believe and keep the faith in what you just can't see. Lord, when I think about the things I want, not the things God knows that I really need, there are miracles and blessings for me.
Hey, okay. So we have a lot of half fulls out there, and I see we have some comments saying Gay, and God bless you. I love it. Erica, come on, Gay. Yes, God. So Erica is a classmate of mine. We graduated high school together. So I've known Erica over 35 years. And we've been out of school for 35 years. So I know Erica, been knowing Erica for over 35 years. So, and she lives in South Carolina, North Carolina. I think it's South Carolina. She lives in South Carolina now. So just happy to see you out there, Erica. Good. Hello, Karen. Thank you for being here. And Daisy Rutabaga says, I love Gay. I love Gay too. So listen up. So how I view that. So do I live a half empty or half full glass? And honestly, what I try to live is I just try to live a grateful for something is in the glass. And this is really true. This is how I look at it. So when I look at the half full, half empty life, glass, like I said, I just see something that's in the glass. So I'm grateful something is in the glass, because I've been in positions where I didn't have anything in the glass. And I've been in positions where I've had more than what I have today. So I am just grateful that something is in the glass, because I know both sides of it more, and I know not having anything. So I always try to live my life just grateful that something is in the glass. And the trick that I've learned with that is, when you see something that's in the grass and you're grateful for everything, it opens you up for more. And I've learned that over time, is that, like I said, it just opens you up for more, because you're so thankful and appreciative for just having something in your life. And I think that's even applicable to the half full life as well, because you see that there's more. There's more that can be added to you. So you're appreciative of that. And then you just like know that more can come to you. And I like I said, I just try and live my life like that every day, that I'm just grateful something is in the glass. And I share this story with my nieces and nephews all the time, who are now getting out on their own. I never forget when I first moved out on my own. I lived in an apartment. And y'all, when I tell you, now the apartment looked kind of good. I thought it looked kind of good. But don't leave no food out at night, or don't leave nothing out. I mean, the the critters would just go crazy up in this apartment. And I didn't even live in the ghetto, but it was just bad back then. And I remember when I first moved out of my parents' home, my mom always told us to keep a bag of potatoes, keep a bag of beans, and keep a bag of rice. She always told us to keep those three things in your house, because she said they can always make a meal. And I remember there were times when I had nothing. I'm talking about nothing at all, but a bag of potatoes. Now I didn't keep the rice and the beans, but I always kept a bag of potatoes in my home. And I remember there were days at a time that I ate French fries. I kept potatoes and Crisco oil or grease or whatever. I always kept those things. So I would eat baked potatoes one day, or I would eat French fries the next. And I just remember when I didn't like have anything. I wasn't, I was blessed to have an apartment to live in, but I didn't have money. I didn't have money. And I even remember it, in my latter years, there'll be times you be broke, and you don't have anything, and you wish that you could do more for you, and you're unable to. So I understand what it feels like to be living from paycheck to paycheck. I understand what it feels like to not know whether or not you're going to be able to make rent for the month. And I never forget, this was so funny. I had a Nissan Sentra. This was, my dad got me a car when I turned 16. That's when the Grand Ams came out. I got the first Grand Am. I never forget that. And I love that car. And then the next year I wrecked it, and he got me another one. And then when I got out on my own, I never forget, um I had like got a Nissan Sentra. That was the car that I got. And when I got the Nissan Sentra, I was working and everything, and I got behind on my car payment. And I never forget, the lady called me, and I was getting ready to like pay on my car and whatever at that point. And the lady called me, and she was like, well, we need you to pay your money, blah, 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 blah. And, I was like 21 at this time. And I was like, well, you can come and pick it up. And that night they came and picked that car up that night. So I had a repossession on my, I lost my car. And then not too long after that, I was playing over at Pilgrim Rest Church here in Dallas. I was the youth musician at that time. Erica said, I remember that Grand Am. Yep. And the wreck. Yeah, I had a wreck in that car. She remembers that. That is right. In a funeral procession, right? I was playing over at a church, Believers Temple. And we had just left a funeral. That was, dang, Erica, you remember that? We had just left a funeral and we were headed to the grave site. And we came up to the four-way intersection right there on Lancaster and Loop 12, I think it is. And we had came up on there. And just as I was getting ready to cross over the four-way intersection where the light was, the escort, the funeral escort, he pulls off. And when he pulls off, a lady comes out of nowhere. And it was myself and Shirley Shook. She went to Health Magnet with me and her little cousin Michael. We were all in the car. And I never forget, like I said, I was 16 years old at this time. And the woman came and she hit my car and she totaled it out. But by the grace of God, none of us was hurt and everything. That was the Grand Am. Yeah, so that was the Grand Am. So that was the story right there. But going back to the Nissan Sentra, like I said, they came and repoed that. And then I was maybe like 22 at this time, and I was playing at Pilgrim Rest. I was the youth musician at this time, and I never forget it. We had just had 8 o'clock service, and my two youngest sisters, they came to the church. And it was in between our 8 o'clock and our 10:45 service, and they came to church. And when I was surprised to see them there, and they said, "Well, you need to get home because your apartment complex is on fire." And so I get home, and when I get home, everything was gone. My clothes, the apartment, because the fire actually started in my apartment. It was some faulty wiring. And this was the same roach infested apartment and everything. And I lost everything that day. I lost everything in a day. And I was super independent, and I made the decision that I wasn't going to go back to my parents' house at that time. I was just gonna just fan it and try to do whatever. And I never forget. And this is why it's super important. I'm an advocate for the Red Cross and the Salvation Army because they really do help. They were lifesavers for me in that time. They gave me like all of these coupons and gift cards and all of these things to Walmart and all of these stores to like get my life back on track. They gave me like the first 2 months of rent and all of this kind of stuff in a new apartment complex. They helped me get set up, mattresses and towels and sheets and everything to get back on my feet. And like I said, in that moment, I had just been gone from home, not even 4 hours. And in a matter of that time, I lost everything that I had. All my clothes. I think the only thing I was able to get out of it, and I still have this in my house today, it was a vase, an orange vase, a glass vase. I'll never get rid of it because of that. And my sister gave me this old, like, dining room table. It's in my breakfast area now, and I'll forever keep that. And then maybe a TV, and I gave it to my parents, but it had like smoke smell and all this other kind of stuff. But I wasn't able to get anything else out. So all of my clothes, uh, TV, anybody know me? Y'all know back then we was collecting VHS. I had a lot of VHS, everything, furniture, with the exception of those two items, was all gone in a matter of 3 or 4 hours. And so, like I said, I know what it feels like to have nothing. I know what it feels like to have nothing. And then I know how I feel to have a lot. So I've just reached a place in my life that I just try to be grateful for everything. And maybe that's like I don't mind giving to people and helping people out because I know that it could be me. It could be me in those positions. So I like I said, I just try to live my life with a grateful mindset. So let me ask you guys this here. So with everything, so the half full guys, all of you get everybody answered pretty much half full. And Erica said on depending on the day. So how do you guys remain grateful in your life? Because we live in an economy and a time where it seems like we're always told we should have more. And when we're told that we should have more, the natural thing is to compare what we have to what we think we should have. And that's where we come up with that void or that lack. So, how do you all continue to keep your half full mindset? Put it in the comments. And while y'all are putting that in the comments, got something else for you. And Tyson, this is for you. I made sure this happened for you, Tyson.
Okay, here's my Thanksgiving melody. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks. Oh, yes. Give thanks.
Yo, so Tyson, that was for you. That was for you. I know you said Mama Sue was one of your favorite guests on the podcast. So I reached out to her today and asked her if she would sing her favorite Thanksgiving song, and that's what she sent over. So Tyson, that was for you, Matt. Thank you for being here. So Pat said, thank God you were at church. Yeah, thank God I was at church. Yeah, I'm grateful for that. God works in mysterious ways. He keeps on blessing you and do. I agree. Tiff said, I journal every night and I add 3 things in. Oh, I'm grateful for. It's a reminder that there is always something to be grateful for. Yep. Let's see what we got here. Reminding myself how good God is, knowing that someone somewhere would trade places in a heartbeat. Yes, staying grounded in my faith. I love that. Okay, remain grateful by always remembering that there is someone, yeah, worse off than me. Yes, someone worse off than me. And this is a true story. So I have a buddy, a real good friend of mine, and this is another thing that keeps has been checking me a little bit too, is the fact that he's from Jamaica. And right now his family is in Jamaica with no power and no ETA. And they've been without power for 3 or 4 weeks now, almost a month now. And they have no power in their homes, and the reception is bad. He's always excited when he gets an opportunity to talk with his parents, because they don't always get a chance to talk every day because they can't use their cell phones when they're at home, or and then before they weren't even able to use their cell phones at all. And to try and get something there to Jamaica for them, you know it's it's pretty difficult right now. So it's like everyone is saying that there is someone else that's worse off than us. And that is so true. There's always somebody that would die to be in the shoes that we have. Our problems would be a gift to somebody else. Our problems would be a gift to someone else. So Gay said, I stay grateful to remember I have a roof, yes, over my head, good health, and someone worse than me. Yes, yes. Yolanda, I remind myself of everything God had brought me through and how he keeps showing up for me. And that was the one line in Gay's. I never forget when Gay was on the podcast, and I asked her if she would specifically sing that line, because it says, we complain about our shoes when someone else have no feet to use. And it just talks about how we are complaining about things in our life, and then someone else again is worse off than you. So good. Anybody else want to share what you how you keep your half full mindset? We got a few seconds here. Pat said, love you, Mama Sue. Okay, Tyson said yes. Yeah, Tyson, that was for you, man. I made sure we had Mama Sue for you tonight, man. What's going on, Jackie Gordon? And Jackie, you guys may remember that clip where I was playing for Gay. Jackie thought that was AI. She thought that was AI playing for Gay. She said, brother, was that AI playing for Gay? I was like, no, that was me. But yeah, she thought that was AI. Okay, so anybody else want to share what you got going on? Okay. So, okay. So I'm gonna ask you guys this question. What are you grateful for this Thanksgiving? What are you grateful for this Thanksgiving? Put your things in the comments. What are you grateful for? Yeah, Jackie, I really hooked that AI dude up. He looked just like me. Yeah. Thanks, Jackie. And while you guys are putting what you're grateful for, I definitely got to give a shout out because one thing I'm grateful for is Yolanda Hargrove. Like she designs my shirts, and so she reaches out to me today because I'm on vacation this week. Thank God I'm on vacation, and she reached out to me this morning, and she was like, "Hey brother, are you at home or are you in the office?" And I was like, "Well, hey, I'm about to go to the gym." And she was like, okay, I have something for you. And she comes up to the gym and everything. I came out, and when I come out, she had the bag, and you see the hat. Yeah, she had a hat with my logo on it and everything, and she had me a shirt and all of this stuff. And it's orange for Thanksgiving, and it matches my watch and my phone. So hey, I'm grateful for that. Okay. So Jackie is grateful for salvation. Absolutely. Yes. And Gay says, I'm grateful that my mom is with me. So, guys, and I definitely just have to mention this here. And I know Gay is a caregiver. And then we have Miss Tiff that's in the chat as well. She's a caregiver for her mom. And Gay is video journaling her time with her mother on social media. If you're not following her on Instagram, go follow her on Instagram and follow her on TikTok because she's journaling and she posts pictures of her mom and her story right now. And many people don't know, but when you see the video, Gay's mother is living with dementia. And if you know how dementia work, you know it works kind of hard on the brain. It works kind of hard on the brains, and the person that lives with it, they kind of go back in time and they forget a lot. And I knew Gay's mother before she was living with dementia. And I tell you this, her Gay's mother, she was a therapist. She was a therapist. And when I tell you her mom was like brilliant, like her mind, she was super, super smart. And she was the person that, because at the time I was minister music at Pilgrim Rest and she was on the staff. And, she was a great advisor to me. And she was a great advisor to me. And if anytime I needed any assistance, she would be there to give it to me. And then anytime that I needed like a little rough hand or a tough hand, her mother was always there to call me and say, well, hey, John, this could have been done differently, or maybe you should think about this, or maybe you should do this. So I have a strong appreciation for her mom because her mom is such an important part of me being where I am today. And like I said, so when I watch her journey, and it's so amazing. Her mom still has that music the music still lives in her. And Gay's daughter was playing a clip of her new track with her mom, and her mom was keeping beat with her hand. And, of course, she was listening to the music and processing it and everything, but she was still keeping beat to the song and everything. And it just shows you how God can still keep us, and how he continues to, even though we may lose parts of us, there are still parts that he continued to let live on in us. And just watching that is just a beautiful journey. So, Gay, kudos to you. Miss Till says, for my family, friends, and having all my needs met and most of my wants. I love it. Erica says, I'm grateful for life and for my family. First Thanksgiving without both parents, and I'm fighting hard to survive this season. God is still good, even in my grief. I love that. Okay. Yolanda, you got a solicitation here. She needs you to make her some t-shirts, Miss Tiff. So Tyson said, for life, health, strength, and my family. Tyson, you so church. Life, health, and strength, and my family. Thanking God tonight, Pastor. Yolanda said, my family. Okay. And Miss Tiff says, bless you, Gay. Dementia is a beast. Okay. Darnell said, thankful to see another day in all of God. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, you ain't got to thank me, of course. And Mr. Ralph says, hey, man, I'm grateful for the one that gives life. I love it. Thankful for another day. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so I see Erica come in and on here. So, okay, guys, we got another singer for you guys on tonight. Okay, let's go for that real quick.
I am grateful for the things that you have done. Yes, I'm grateful for the victories we won. I could go on and on and on and on about your word, because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful just to praise you, Lord. It's flowing from my heart, and all the issues of my heart is gratefulness.
Hey, that was Pastor Akeem Graham, and he lives there in South Carolina. Eric, he lives there in South Carolina. That was Pastor Akeem Graham. Happy, thank you for blessing us with that song on tonight. And then, so this is another thing too, guys. This is, and Erica was making mention of this here, this is the first time for a lot of people who are experiencing or about to have their first Thanksgiving without someone that they love. I know a couple of people that watch the podcast. Charlotte Flowers, this is her first Thanksgiving without her mother. Her mother just passed back in August of this year. And then Darlene Richmond, her mother passed in May. Jackie Gordon's husband just passed a month and a half ago. Jackie Gordon's and Marquita Henry, who watches the podcast, her grandfather died earlier this year. And Erica, who just made mention, her mother passed. I think it was earlier part of this year as well. Her mother passed. And it's like, this is the first Thanksgiving or holiday or first Thanksgiving that they will be without their parents. And this is a story that I haven't shared on the podcast. So, we're definitely praying for you guys on Thursday, because the first are always the hardest one. The first Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, any holiday or birthday or any of those type of things, it's a hard thing. So, yep, yep. Erica said it was September 24th for her mom and January the 25th for her dad. So both her parents in 1 year. And this is the first time for many of us with losing our loved ones. And I never forget. So this was Christmas Day. I want to say it was 2017, I believe. And so I went by my sister's house. Well, my family, we was all together that day, but one of my sisters didn't get a chance to make it. She didn't get a chance to make it. So she was feeling wasn't feeling well. So on my way home, I had to pass by her house to get to home. I had to pass by her house to get home. So I go by her place, and when I go by her place, I knock on the door, and she didn't answer the door. So I just said, and her daughter was at my sister's house, and I just said, well, maybe she's in there asleep or whatever. I just said maybe she's in her sleep. And so the next day, day after Christmas, I had to go back to work. And when I go back to work that day, it was maybe like 1 o'clock. And my youngest sister, she calls me at work and she says, "Hey." And I said, "Hey." And she said, "You at work?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm at work." And I don't why folks ask you where you at when they call you, because this was back in the day when we had phones on our desk. And she called me on my work phone and asked me if I was at work. But she said, "Are you at work?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she says, "Okay, well, just call me when you get off work." And I said, "No." I said, "What's going on?" And my this sister, she just, she's super nice and everything, but sometimes she just say stuff. And she says, "Kayla's dead." And I said, "Huh?" And she said, "Kayla's dead." And that was my sister. And so I never forget, I ended up staying at work the remainder of the time. I think I got off maybe like 3:30 that day. And I stayed at work. And I guess because in that moment, it was, you don't know how to react in those type of moments. I've never had a sibling to pass. And so I stayed at work, and I never forget it. When I got off from work, I went to my sister's house, and because I wanted to check up on her kids. And when I go to her house to check up on the kids, I noticed that my other sister and her kids were sitting in the car, and it was raining really, really bad. It was raining really, really bad that day, but I noticed they were sitting in the car, and I was like, "Why are y'all sitting in the car?" And they said that my sister's body was still in her apartment. And so I went up, and it was, and when I went up, like, I guess my sister had fallen, and she had fallen on the ground, on the floor, whatever, before she passed. So when I opened up the door, I was expecting to maybe see her on the couch or somewhere back in her room. But as soon as I opened up the door, she was right there on the floor, and she was gone. And I mean, it was like super, super hard. So I never forget. And even still to today, some holidays are hard. They're not as hard as they used to be, but I never forget those first holidays. I mean, first New Year's. I mean, it just seemed like anything that happens that you would have been with those people, it of reminds you of them, and it reminds you of the lost. But I tell you that, like, with time, things get better. They get better. And like even with my dad, things get better. You don't forget them. You'll never forget them. But the things that make you cry today, they will comfort you in the future. They will make you smile, and then you'll see, like I said, on holidays is, with family members is, you love people, and it's something missing when they're gone. It's something missing when they're gone. So those people that are out there that are watching tonight, and this is your first Thanksgiving without your parent or your brother or your sister or your husband or your wife or whoever it may be, this could be, or your child, this could be your first holiday without them. Prayers going up for you. And, eventually over time, you'll learn to just be thankful for the time that you had with them, And then you'll also find yourselves, like, because I'm like super more attentive to my mom and my sisters and them now, where like my sisters and them, I try to spend as much time with them as I possibly can. Not that I'm afraid that they're gonna go or anything like that, but I just try now to whatever they ask me to do. I mean, like back in July, we had a slumber party here in my house. That probably 5 years ago, I would have probably said no. But I realize now that, every moment is precious and you make the best out of it. And you try to, you know, just like I said, you just thankful for everything. So, those who this is your first time without it, hopefully you make whatever their favorite dish was. It's going to be hard to do it, but find something that they enjoyed and you do that for them, and you do it in their memory and in their honor. And it just tends to make the day go by a little bit better and a little bit easier. So yeah. So yeah. Okay. So let's see. All we have is each other. Don't take the opportunity for granted. I agree 100%. Don't take it for granted. And Pat says, God bless you all who have a loss of a loved one. Please keep talking about them and they can live on in your life. So true. Okay, so let's see here. What else we got here? So we got let's see here. Okay, I thought that. Okay, so got some more singing for y'all guys on tonight. Make sure we took care of y'all. Let's see here. Where we go?
Hallelujah. I'm thankful to you, Lord. Hallelujah. I'm thankful to you, Lord, for all you've done and all you'll ever do. Hallelujah. I'm thankful to you. Hallelujah. I'm thankful to you, Lord. Hallelujah. I'm thankful to you, Lord, for all you've done and all you'll ever do. Hallelujah. I'm thankful to you. You've been good to me. You've been good to me. Yeah, faithful. I'm grateful for all you've done for me. I am grateful, grateful. So hallelujah. Woo.
Okay, my mic was muted. Corey took his own self down on that one. So that was Corey Barrett. Y'all remember him from being on the podcast, and he's actually in the chat tonight too. So Corey, thank you for blessing us on tonight. Marion says, I believe God gives grace day by day. Some days I'm good, and some days it hits me hard. It's been 20 years since I lost my parents in a car accident. And you guys may remember Marion on the podcast a few weeks ago, and she shared her story. Marion lost both of her parents at the same time in a car accident. And like she said, it's been over 20 years ago, and it's still, you know, it still hits hard sometimes. So, the thing with grieving and everything, and just be patient with yourself and don't allow anyone to make you feel rushed, like you have to go ahead and move on with your life and all of that. You don't have to do that. You just like deal with it in your time. And Corey, he's another witness to that. The guy that just sung, he lost his mother a couple of years ago, and it's like, I talk with him often, and he still even have days where he remember his mother, he misses his mother, you know so grief, it take your time with it. And again, this is maybe your first holiday without your loved one, but find peace in the fact that they're in a better place. And you know all the memories will come back, and like I said, you'll feel comfort and you'll hear the voice. That's the strangest thing. Like, I can still, my dad's been deceased over 20 years as well, and I can still hear my dad's voice. And then a lot of people who don't may not know this about me, but I'm kind of like a handyman. Like, all my lamps in my house, my ceiling fans, all of that good stuff. Like, I put it up in my own house. I did all of that stuff by myself. And, that was something that I got from my dad. Like, he never taught me how to do it, but my dad was able to do all of those things. He added rooms onto our house growing up and everything. So those are the things that makes me smile when I see those things. When I see a ceiling fan or a fixture in my home, I smile because that's my dad in me. And that's him living in me, and that's him still with me, and all of that. So, like I said, you will find, you know, the beautiful moments that will comfort you and that will carry you through some hard times. And Jackie, I know Jackie, she made comments about, those who have lost people, but Jackie has celebrated right after her husband passed. She celebrated, I think it was 32 years, their 32-year wedding anniversary. That was her first without him. And then, of course, here we are at Thanksgiving, and she's about to celebrate Thanksgiving without him. And this is the first time for that as well. So, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of stuff, and Thanksgiving is going to be sad for some people. So, when you send up a prayer on Thanksgiving, keep all of these people, your co-workers, everybody in mind. Oh, Jackie corrected me. 33 years of marriage she celebrated with her husband. So yeah, that was that's really, really good. So, okay, so let me ask you guys this here. So this is a funny question, and you don't put their name, you just put their relation to you. What is the worst dish you've ever had on Thanksgiving, and who made it? What's the worst dish you've ever had on Thanksgiving, and who made it? So here's the true fact about me. So normally on Thanksgiving, what I eat is dressing and greens. That's pretty much all I eat on Thanksgiving is dressing and greens. And if my sister Connie cooks some chitlins, I may eat some chitlins. Yeah, I eat chitlins, but yeah, I don't always eat them. But uh normally my plate just have dressing with cranberry sauce, no ghibli gravy or anything on it, and greens. And the reason I eat that is because that's something that I don't get every day. And you have it on Thanksgiving. So I get it. The worst dish I've ever had, and I'm gonna say this person's name, is it was some dressing. This was a year that I didn't have dressing. Well, I started out with some dressing, but it was nasty. And it was my youngest sister, Connie. That's who made it. So she's like a big TikTok cooker. She gets all her recipes off of TikTok. And all of y'all that's probably cooking off of TikTok, y'all probably got some nasty food because I watched some of them TikTok videos, and those people putting raw meat in a crock pot and adding stuff in there without draining that meat. That's kind of nasty because chicken and all of that stuff release stuff. So yeah. So Miss Till said, let's see what Miss Till said. Aunt brought 4 uncooked sweet potatoes to share with over 30 people. Lord have mercy. We still laugh out loud about this 30 years later. Uncooked. Now, Tiffany, are you meaning like they hadn't touched the oven or she undercooked them like kind of bad? Which one is it? Did she not cook them at all? What's going on, Charlotte Flowers? I see you in the comments out there. And Charlotte is a person, her mother just passed back in August of this year. So Charlotte, you'll definitely be in our prayers. Tiffany says, still in the plastic bag, not cooked at all. Yeah, she would have got talked about, like really bad. And what are some of y'all traditions at your house for Thanksgiving? Put that in the thing. One thing that my family does is at the end of, after everyone is eaten, and I kind of like initiate this here because I'm kind of like a troublemaker. I go and I grab every dish one by one and I bring them where everyone is, and we do a kick it or keep it. And we hold the dish up. And if it's a kick it, that means don't ever bring it back again. And if it's a keeper, you can bring it back the next year or the next potluck or whatever. But kick it or keep it. Oh, what's up, Joyce? Joyce Parkhurst, Lawless, what's going on? And Joyce, her dad, what? Oh, wait a minute. Her dad killed a possum and had mom to cook it with sweet potatoes on Thanksgiving Day. Oh my God. So Joyce is Joyce is one of my closest friends. I've known her over 20 years. We worked at UPS together with Keon, and I was just down at Joyce's house. So let me tell you this here. When I go down, Joyce lives down in Maybank, Texas. So Keon and I, we went down to celebrate Joyce's birthday back in October. And when we go down, Joyce, and she's Caucasian, so I can say that because she's one of my closest friends, but she's Caucasian. But when I tell you she throws down, her and her mom can cook, and Joyce has us spoiled. Everything is cooked from scratch. She made a cobbler. She makes the crust. She goes out in her backyard. She has a peach tree. She puts peaches, skins them, and she makes the cobbler and everything from scratch. So she has a spoiled roll she makes from scratch. Everything is just from scratch. But a thing that we did find out about Joyce is when we worked at UPS, Joyce used to always bring all of this food to work, and it would be like some amazing food. So all of this time, and we just found this out at Joyce's retirement party, Joyce was taking credit for her mom's cooking. Her mom was cooking all the food, and Joyce would bring it to work and be like, she cooked it. But her mom was cooking all the food. So we found that out 20 years later. So let's see here. Pat says, every time we visit the cemetery after 30 years, we still cry only because we miss them. So true, Pat. Oh, Sherlyn, what's going on? You guys may remember this here from earlier. Erica mentioned about, and Cheryl remember this here, the funeral when I had the wreck. I was 16, you were 17, and Michael, I can't remember how old Michael was, in the back seat. We was headed to Papa Collins' funeral, I think it was, his grave site, and that woman ran that red light and totaled out my Grand Am. I had that car for a year. It was brand new when I got it off the parking lot too. Cheryl was in my car. Cheryl is a successful doctor down in Houston, Texas, with a beautiful family. I'm so happy for her. Don't start, John. Joyce, I exposed you for lying. Cheryl said he was 10. Michael was 10. Okay, so let's see here. Brown banana pudding, sister from another mother. Okay, that was the worst dish. Okay, let's see here. Yep, it was the red Grand Am. Yep, that's the car. Yep, that was the car. So that's all we got was the banana pudding. And okay, y'all don't want to talk about y'all family in here. Let's see. Put the Christmas tree up together. Oh, that's what you and your parents did, Erica? I think that's what you're saying. Okay. Jackie said, unfortunately, one of our members cooked 4 sweet potato pies that she swore by. Oh, they were awful. Taste like leaves. Oh, wow. Now that is kind of bad. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. How many of y'all like patty pies? And do y'all like them better than y'all like y'all family's sweet potato pies? Because the big pies are trash. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. The big patty pies are trash. The little bitty ones for 84 cents, they're pretty good. Oh, okay. That's your tradition. That's a tradition you do. Y'all put up the Christmas tree. That's dope. Okay, so y'all do that on Christmas. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. What else? What else? Gay, I know, do you have a dish? What is it that your family don't want you to bring? Do they just want you to sing on Thanksgiving and come up with the games? Because I saw you posted some game videos. But yeah, the worst dish I've ever had is yeah, the dressing. And then I like patty pies, but I eat the small pies too. Yeah, now the big ones, they're no go. They're no go. Miss Tiff said negative to patty pies. I baked my own. I love it. Okay, no to the tradition was to put the Christmas tree by Thanksgiving, right? Okay, okay, nice. Okay, she have to cook and serve. Sure, you need to tell them you're not cooking and serving. No one on the pies. Okay. Okay. So, guys, this has been a great evening with you guys. And one thing that I am extremely thankful for is that the time that we spend together each and every Monday. I'm really excited about that. I really am thankful for each of you. And one thing I am like really excited, and I tell people this here, my prayers that everybody that's connected to me, God blesses them abundantly. And each of you that are here on Monday nights with this podcast, you are connected to me. And, I pray, abundance over each of your lives. And I pray that this Thanksgiving is filled with beautiful moments and, times that you all can come together with your family and you can make some great memories. And those of you who this is your first Thanksgiving without your loved ones, you will be in our prayers. You will be in our prayer on Thursday. I'm definitely going to make sure that I make that prayer, say it out loud and everything. So you will be in our prayers on Thursday that, that God comforts you and that you find joy on Thursday, even in the midst of your sorrow, that he comforts you. So, okay, let's see here. Y'all got some good stuff there. Let's see here what we say. I found out you still need to bake patty pies. Oh, so maybe that's why it was nasty. Okay, so they said you still need to bake patty pies. Okay, I didn't know that either. Okay. And let's see here. God bless you, John. This was great. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all, guys. Let's see here. What else we say? Amen. Laughing aloud. You see, yeah, connected. Exactly. Okay. Fried homemade peach pies. Okay. Sure. You stole your grandmama, Sister Washington, Mother Washington recipe on that. I believe it. Okay. And they are Marion said, our family sings and play instruments. To every event, we gotta sing songs from every genre. Okay, I love that. And then what we got here? Leave them patty pies at the stove. Yes, leave them patty pies at the stove. What's up, Ernest? What's going on? This is a Dallas musician. Ernest Zachary, he is a phenomenal guy. And Cheryl, you may remember him. He played over at one of those churches, I think. Ernest, what was the name of the church? It was in West Dallas. He played at that church when we were all at Believers Temple. So I've been knowing Ernest over 30 years as well. Yep, I remember your grandmother, Cheryl. I do. Let's see here. Okay, guys. Well, this has been a wrap. No patty pies. My son, the king of potato pies. Okay. Okay. We'll be the judge of that, Mary. We're going to have a sweet potato pie. Puget Street. That's it. Puget Street. Yep. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And we will see you guys again next Monday. We have 3 more episodes. And then just go ahead and put this on your calendar. December the 15th. Coach Jay, she's going to kind of like take over the Dope Ass Dude podcast that evening. And it's going to be kind of like a dating episode. I'm not going to be on it, but she's going to take over that episode. And it's going to be pretty darn dope. So make sure y'all check out that week. Ernest said, need to hear you play again. We'll make that happen, Ernest. We'll get together and share it, man, for sure. But I love each and every last one of you guys, and have the most amazing Thanksgiving. Peace.
Yeah. Real life stories and transparent conversations, hustle and grind, love and relationships, with all the tools for living your best life. It's the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. The Dope Ass Dude Podcast.